Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode 2 of Strixhaven CHAOS. School is in session. I hope you were able to join us last week for orientation, which was utterly terrifying for Theo, but I think everyone else loved it, and cannot wait to dig in further tonight. We have a sponsor that I want to make sure that we call out here. Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, incredible video game where you create parties that will adventure with a really slow gait, like just kind of like a very casual stroll down all kinds of different landscapes, and they just destroy enemies. It's very it's kind of the loot pinata kind of feel of everything going on there. Incredibly fun game. I have it up all the time while I am supposed to be doing other things, and so you should check it out too. We've got some of our old characters in that game, but you've got a chest code that you can get there on the screen and also in chat. So check that out, and thank you, Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. As always, we love you for. And we're going to, I think, jump right into introductions of players. I'm going to go first here. I am Adam Bradford. I am the CDO of Demiplane. You can find me on Twitter at BadEyeAdam. And for this 8-part series that we're doing here, Strixhaven CHAOS, I am playing Theolorn Phlox, who is a sibling to Niko Phlox, an adopted sibling. And I am a Leonin wizard that is one of the bravest characters that you will ever meet. Let's move on to Hope.
Hi, everybody. I'm Hope LaVelle. I am a motion capture performer by day and D&D enthusiast by night. I am playing Impa Gravestone, a Luxodon cleric who is quite shy around people, but quite friendly amongst the unliving. So she loves them spirits, and that's how she knows everything. Is she gets all of her answers from the spirits who know everything. And yeah.
I love the unliving. That's a very provocative word. I love it. All right, Jen.
Hello, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am an actor, writer, producer, consultant. I'm one of the authors of Candlekeep Mysteries. I am the creator of the Accessibility in Gaming Resource Guide. You can find me on Twitter as @DreamWisp, which is where you can find the guide. And I am playing Niko Phlox, who is Theo's younger and much smaller sister because she is a Harengon. So she's about 3 feet tall. She is a druid. And she is not so much for the words and books, but really into numbers and patterns, and is very... She's excited to be at school, but she might not let on quite as much. Though at the moment she's fairly caffeinated, where we last left her.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
Not at all. Oh, and I stream on Twitch as DreamWisp Jen. I forgot to say that. So.
And Lauren.
Hi, I'm Lauren Urban. I'm the content coordinator for Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms. I also stream and do other things, and you can find me on Twitter as OboLauren, which is where I put all of the stuff that's important in my life, which is a weird way to say it. I am playing Malinky Carminic, who is an Owlin Ranger who is here to steal your heart and your wallet.
Perfect. And so last but not least, our illustrious DM for this event. And B-Dave, after you introduce yourselves, take us away.
Hey, it is I, B-Dave Walters. I say words about things. I do this pretty much anywhere someone will let me. And now I have a new saying as a proud Southerner that you're jumpier than a caffeinated Harengon. So there you go.
I am here for this.
Literally. Yeah.
I
am here for this.
Oh.
Thank you all for tuning in. That's it. That's been our show. We're done here. So we're just gonna, you can roll the outro.
We don't even have an outro yet. We're just gonna have to like sing it off.
No, we usually just wave until it gets uncomfortable.
Bye-bye. But yeah, we don't know if we're out. We don't know if we're out. Yeah. There is gonna be an exam later, so get those out of your system now, honestly. Yes. Last week, we came into the magical campus of Strixhaven, which is a magical college, actually an organization of several magical colleges that have a shared understudy program that sits at the intersection of realities, not unlike Sigil, the City of Doors, if you're familiar with it. So beings from all over the multiverse that just have a love of knowledge and learning, and especially of magic, come to Strixhaven to advance their studies. So you can run into literally any kind of sentient and quite a few non-sentients that you can imagine in this wonderful place. We met Mal, Theo, Impa, and wait, who'd I leave off? Nico, on their very first day of school, which after having made each other's acquaintance and a couple of the colorful underclassmen that are going to be joining them, like Rampart, the Loxodon, just outside the Biblioplex, the central structure that dominates the campus of Strixhaven, Impa very quickly made the association of a ochre jelly that happened to be flowing out of one of the windows after having consumed all of the books and scrolls and parchments inside. Our heroes bravely dealt with the creature, sticking half of it in place and destroying the other half that Mal quite unintentionally severed off, as Mal was also quite nearly unintentionally severed from the mortal coil, but it was just a flesh wound. Mal got up. One of the RAs came to save him, a beautiful fire genasi that seems to have Mal's lingering attention after treating him with that healing potion. Just saying.
I mean, he saved my life and he's got greater healing potions. I find that incredibly attractive.
How can you argue with that? As you all made your way into the Biblioplex, you were challenged with a scavenger hunt that would help you get the lay of the land of the building, help encourage your teamwork, and give you all some minor trinkets that might help you along the way, not the least of which is a bottle of ever-flowing coffee, which I cannot underestimate how, of all of the magic items I've encountered in D&D, is the one that I would want the most. However, in the process of finishing up the scavenger hunt, you all heard screams erupting as the joyous and energetic atmosphere of the first floor is shattered by panic shouting. Oh, one last thing before we dive into this. We are using the Strixhaven adventure. I'm doing a heavily compressed version of this because this campaign is incredible. There's no way that we could get to it all in 8 episodes. So this is kind of the cliff notes of the Strixhaven campaign as our intrepid heroes are here in year 1. Now, that trunk, a young elf screams, pointing towards the stacks as she runs by. That trunk has teeth. Please, anyone, stop it. Chaos erupts in the library as students stream in all directions, their books and papers flying as they shout in fear. The only faculty mages in sight are trying to deal with the panicked students. You can't just let some monster ruin the first day of classes. It is time to step up. What would you all like to do?
Theo leans forward and gives just like a ton of inspection to Impa's trunk and is looking for the teeth on her trunk.
Yeah. This is like the second time that somebody's talked about a trunk full of teeth. So, I mean, that's totally fair. But I don't think that's what we're
I'm unfamiliar with your species, and so therefore, are there teeth in your trunk? Is that what they are going on about?
Theo, it's pretty rude to go inspect other people's bodies like that. Maybe later. I'm guessing since they were running from over there that it's probably not Impa.
I am so sorry, Impa. I meant no imposition. It was curiosity got the best of me.
Oh, right. Of course.
So there's clearly something going on. So I think we should check out what's going on.
Stay here and
Nico's off.
make sure that people equipped to handle it.
Well, you know what? I think both of those are excellent ideas. And so why don't you come with me and your sis in that direction, and you can look for a qualified adult, and I'll go be one. And I draw my blades, and I'm off after my herringon friend.
Alfred, what do you think we should do? Sit back, right? Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah? I mean...
I like Alfred.
Right. That's
Impa, you feel a chilly breeze blowing from behind you in the direction of the screams. Just
Would I be familiar with that kind of feeling?
that's how the spirits nudge you on occasion.
That's
They
what
don't
I
really have
figured.
hands as such.
Yeah.
You know, it's
I
a slight imposition.
Yeah. Okay.
Or someone left a window open, but no, to you.
Yeah. Impa will turn and look. Oh, excuse me. Right. Hello.
Nico and Mal, is you are running towards the study area, which is where the commotion's coming from.
May I cast Shillelagh as I do so?
You absolutely can. What's Nico's Shillelagh look like when she does?
So Nico's Shillelagh is a I actually have notes on this time. It as soon as she casts it, so her Shillelagh has vines woven up and around it, all with the Fibonacci pattern. So it sort of starts with one leaf and then it kind of increases as it goes down. As soon as she casts Shillelagh, it is imbued with the power of Selûne and is suddenly surrounded with an iridescent glow as if wreathed by moonlight.
Ooh.
Excellent. Mal and Nico, give me perception checks.
All right. 13.
That would be a natural 1.
You've successfully rolled to disbelieve, Nico, as you are very much looking at the staff. Like, that's perfect. That's perfect. I mean, those ratios and proportions are wonderful. Unfortunately, Nico, you don't notice something very, very important as you come bursting into the room. Nico, or Mal, rather, at the very last second, as you come in, you both see a lot of trunks, and papers thrown and strewn about. You see elaborate costumes where it looks like actually the live action role-playing guild was in the process of setting up for a show in here when something went really wrong. And there's no sign of what happened until Nico, you notice right behind, or Mal, sorry, you notice right behind Nico on one of the trunks, a pair of eyes opens and it lunges out and bites Nico, and unfortunately gets a natural 20. So we're starting strong here with a 1 and a 20.
And a 20. Oh,
right out of the gates.
No.
I would like to
Yes.
use silvery barbs as a reaction.
Okay, what does that do?
I get to distract it, and the momentary uncertainty will distract it. So I get to it must re-roll the d20 and use the lower roll, and then also I get to choose another creature I see within range. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, or saving throw it makes within 1 minute.
Wow.
What's up, Mal?
Hi.
How you doing? Hey, Mal, isn't this fantastic? We're gonna fight something.
Hey, I think the thing behind you, I think it wants to take a bite out of you.
Oh no.
Normally natural 20s are sacrosanct, but I gotta tell you, I'm gonna let that one go because it kind of would have killed you on a 20. So it lunges forward and just bites into a nearby bookshelf and shatters it into splinters. And with that, everybody roll initiative. Yeah, I was like, nah, this will be fine. Oh, this is not gonna be fine.
Nope, not fine. Hey, listen, I learned last week this ain't fun.
I am making up for last week because that is another natural 1.
The monster got a natural 1.
Would you?
I mean,
would you
this
like?
is not even mathematically possible. at this
I'm
point.
rolling physical dice. I need you to know, I'm rolling physical dice, and that's not even RNGesus being a fickle god. That is actually what happened.
This is just the dice being dice. Where would you like these numbers?
Here in the game chat is fine.
Game chat.
So here we go.
That's not how math works.
That is true. I mean, speaking as someone who has never comprehended the difference between mean, median, and average, we're living it now. So, Nico, that was a 1.
I did say we were going to pay for last week this week.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
no,
should
it's
not
all-
have said that.
It's all coming around,
apologize.
especially because I already know I'd already pre-rolled a couple of the wild magic things that are about to go down here. Impa,
Oh, sorry, that's a 3.
that's wow, you guys. Theo,
Oh, wait.
9.
Mal,
5.
here again, the monster got a 1.
Yeah, so Nico's a
9
4.
On a 9, 5, 3, and 1, you guys are all still gonna go before the monster, which is just should not
I'm a
be, but here we
4,
are.
not a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Listen, hey, all you got to do is be faster than the monster, right?
Yep. Let's see here. Do.
It is. It's yep. This first year students, sure.
Yeah. Yep.
This is the one
Adam
character we're gonna love
Adam
low
B. Dave decided to
initiative.
put chaos in the title of our show.
Yeah.
It's true, and we're living up to it, I must say. Theo, you are still a little distance from the room, from the study area, even though you hear the crunch and crash of the mimic. And you hear your sister's voice and Mal's, when all around you, you hear and 3 pink jellyfish appear. They have long tentacles and eye stalks, and they turn and look at you and say, "Ah, give me a dex save, please, sir."
Oh no.
I hit it too hard with my flump squeal, y'all.
Oh no.
12.
One of them, actually, Impa, you get me a dex save too.
It's a nat 20, you guys.
Screenshot or
Wow.
it didn't happen.
Wow. This is where we live now. This is how this works.
Again, don't forget the 1 in 20 that I rolled over here on physical dice when we're
Did-
keeping track of these things.
Absurd.
Everybody forget to turn off their the high variance dice and just went to, like, go back to the normal dice.
2 of these creatures turn and shoot at both of you a jet of the foulest smelling liquid you have ever smelled in your life. It is like skunk spray was put in a jar of mayonnaise and left in the sun in August in Alabama
No, my
for a
nose.
week.
My
That
trunk.
happened to me yesterday.
Both of you dodge getting hit by it because they very much try to spray you like skunks, but the stench is overpowering as these 3 things start chaotically floating around in the hallway, clearly terrified of Theo.
Theo's reaction just is like, he just starts
I know that
screaming
scream.
at the top of his lungs. At the top of his lungs.
Is your action to be unable to even Theo, or is there something else?
I try to move. If it is it my turn in initiative?
Oh yes, yes,
Oh,
it's your
absolutely.
turn. With a whopping 9, you're still the first one in initiative.
Really proud of that. All right, so I am going to disengage as my action, and then I am.
You
going
won't
to,
have to. They're actually trying to get away from you. So yeah.
I run in the opposite direction, and I yell over my shoulder, "Impa, run for your life!"
Are you trying to run towards where your sister's in danger, or away from
No.
all of this? Okay.
No, absolutely not.
Thanks for the backup.
Right.
I mean, she can
I
take
am
care
here
of
for this.
herself. I've seen it for years.
I love it.
Right. All right. Theo effectively disengages, yes, as these weird jellyfish-like creatures are flying all around. Mal, you've seen this chest has leapt to life. It's got big, bulging eyes on the top, and there's teeth along the lips of it. And you saw it just blasted this bookshelf and burst it into splinters easily. And
I've got both my short swords in my hand. I look at my friend, my new friend, You know, they say that Sigil is like the most dangerous place, and I've been attacked more here in the last couple minutes than I was in like weeks. But that's okay. Ah! And
But they're training us here.
I thought I was supposed to be trained in magic. I already know how to like whack things with swords, but here we go. And I will rush forward with my swords. And here we go.
For some reason, I wanted to hear the R-rated version of what I
true.
thought you were about to say.
True. True.
I mean,
We'll put that that's behind the paywall. Yeah.
What Mal says in Undercommon is completely unknown to the home audience.
Let's
True.
flump stench up.
You know, right? It's like the mimic stops and looks at you like.
I mean, it's Mal. He's from Sigil. He's going to tell this thing to pike off. All right. So, I think I get advantage on my first attack because of something that
you do because of what I did.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Is it just the first attack or is it all attacks?
It's just the first attack.
Awesome. My first attack hits it with a 21.
Nice. More than enough. More than
awesome.
enough.
I will, for the second time today, mark this as my favorite foe. And, so I'm going to do 7, 9 damage. What is short sword damage? Why piercing? 9 piercing damage.
Short sword piercing? I thought of slashing. It actually doesn't matter. That's
well, so it's piercing, and then I made the mistake. I was very role-playing last time, and I talked about slashing, and then cool things happened, and I died, so don't worry about it.
It did make a difference last time.
It did make a difference last time, and I accepted that was my fault, and it was cool. Okay, so 9 piercing damage, and then I will come around with my bonus action for a 9 to hit.
That is not enough. You stab at it with the first one, and the second time you go to stab at it, you see the eyes close and it turns to wood, and you just pink, and then extra eyes open where it's got 5 now, and 2 of them look at you and just narrow like it's angry now. And it's got a long purple tongue that wafts out.
My giant owl eyes also narrow at it. And it's like one of those anime moments and where eyes narrow to each other.
You know, yeah, everything blue letterboxes for a second there. Yeah. Perfect. Then it is Niko's turn. Actually, hang on. Let me just check one thing real quick. You see how much dex a mimic actually has. Yep, it's Niko's turn.
Let's go with run. I have my shillelagh out. Let's go ahead and give it a shot with the shillelagh.
All right.
So Niko will leap in and attack with her shillelagh.
Oh my!
No way.
No,
it's a nat 20.
Oh my gosh!
This game, y'all. This game.
No.
I swear we can screenshot this. This is.
I see it right there.
Everyone is seeing that this is.
Oh yeah, we got it.
So that's a 25 to hit.
We got no reason to lie to you, internet. Yes, that is definitely a hit. Yes.
And so that is 9 points of damage.
Perfect. That's the doubled number, still 9.
So I did it as the standard crit. Was it just doubling damage?
Yeah, it doubles all of it.
It should be 5 plus 3. So it should be 16 instead. Yeah, because the 1 won't matter.
That sounds more betterer. Yep. As you slam into this with your shillelagh, you see a big crack forms on the back of it.
Because I know where the knots in the woods are, and I understand where the weakness of the wood is. And did you know that you can discover from the cracks in the wood whether wood is elastic or whether the substance is elastic or not? This is a mathematical principle that you can apply.
Well, right now I'm just trying to shave this back down into a chest.
Both Mal and Niko give me dex saves as one of those pink jellyfish freaks out and shoots that same stinking cloud in your direction.
Oh no. 14.
That is plenty.
I would like to, let's see how this goes first.
Mm-hmm.
So 10, I'm going to apply my lucky footwork.
Mm-hmm.
So I can use my reaction to roll a d4 and add that on.
You
have
used
that.
your reaction.
I
already
used my
your
reaction. So scratch that. Then I'm going to use. Oh no, I can't do anything then. Never mind. So it's a 9.
A 9 is not enough. Just barely. This thing, it just hits you in the back, Nico. And it just stinks to high hell. You have gained the poisoned condition until you manage to clean yourself, which means you will have disadvantage on attacks and ability checks. It smells so bad you can see it, Nico. Like in the moment that you stop to explain the quality of the wood, just boom in the back. However, Impa, it is your turn.
Theo, and she's gonna run after Theo. She's just gonna like pat him on the back. That's okay. I mean,
What about this situation seems okay?
I just think your sister might need some help. And she hits him on the back and says, "You can do this," and cast guidance. That's all she's spent.
Theo, in the moment you turn to look back is when you see Nico just take the direct hit from this. Her fur is matted and drippy. It's awful.
I do not know why you have such faith in me, but I shall attempt to sort out some kind of solution for this mess.
That's the spirit.
However, unfortunately, it is the Mimic's turn now, as yet another wild magic surge takes over, and you see it begins to vibrate and goes like it's really upset, and flames begin pouring off of it, igniting the books and trunks and other things in flames all around it. Even the Mimic itself seems like it's catching on fire. However, it is going to try and attack Mal, and I believe it is going to hit. What's your AC, Mal?
14.
It does. It bites you.
Mal's in the middle of yelling at his friends, just like, we'll get you some tomato sauce later. It'll be fine. I'm like, ah! How'd you get on fire?
Mal, it bites you for 5 points of damage and 2 points of acid damage as it sinks deeply into your leg here. And you see 2 of the eyes are still looking at you like they're very angry, but the rest of the eyes are kind of starting to look almost wild-eyed with panic because it's not terribly intelligent, but it comprehends being set on fire. However, it looks like it's going to fight to the end as you see the flames start moving out through this space. And that brings us back around to the top with Theo.
Oh, all right. So, Theo. Okay, so one more time. Where are the active combatants, and how far away are they?
Basically, the other end of the hall. Okay. Like they kind of went towards the study area. You went away from the study area. Those weird jellyfish things are kind of scattered now because they went away from you. So you have a relatively open line to the room that you now see is starting to catch on fire that your sister and Mal are in.
Okay. So
also remember that your stuffed mascot gives you courage, Theo.
It's got to overcome a lot.
It is a minor magical item. Yeah, it's
all right. So Theo is going to rush forward and say, well, I hope that I can remember this one. I believe the word for the draconic word for sleep is Vidri, and so he starts to kind of trace something in the air, and they're within 90 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is there a way to try to place the sleep spell where it will not get Mal or Nico, or is there no way to do that?
I mean, it's actively chewing on Mal's leg, so that'll be
Okay.
rough.
That's fine. So
but-
Matt, no, that's fine. That's fine. And
Yeah.
so,
I'm
so
not a
Theo,
chicken. Let go. Let go.
So
Let go. Let go.
Theo just says, "Oh, I hope this works." And he casts the sleep spell, which is going to be in a 20-foot
Mhm.
radius,
Mhm.
and then I need to roll 5d8.
Yep. See how many hit points worth of creatures you can put to sleep.
I wish everyone would just go to sleep. And that is 23.
Believe it or not, it had exactly 23 hit points left. And so it just sort of shudders for a second, and it looks at you, Mal, and it's like, "Arr, arr, arr, arr."
Just
Yeah,
go to
yeah.
sleep.
Like,
You are terrifying. Just go to sleep.
The teeth retract and the eyes close, and it just sits there inert, just like a busted up trunk. There's still clearly holes where you stabbed it, and a big crack where Nico hit it, but it's just a wooden trunk.
Weird.
Is everything still on fire?
Yes.
are the flumps still
May I
here?
use Druidcraft to snuff out those fires?
Yes, you can. It'll take you a couple of uses of it, but you absolutely
fine.
can. What does it look like as Nico extinguishes these flames that are threatening to destroy this whole area?
In this case, it sort of is when the only perfect circle in nature, or is when you drop a drop of water into a still body of water. So this is essentially dropping water to create those perfect circles to contain the flames, and then as they ripple back down, the flames fizzle out.
As you're standing there doing this, you all hear coming from the other direction, oh my word, oh my God, no! And a streak of black comes hurtling down the hallway and explodes in a shower of feathers right next to you, Mal, as the most glorious owlin you've ever seen appears there. She is glowing and radiant and like charged with power, and then looks like, oh, you've already seen to students. Well done. I'm Professor Sharpbeak. And she ruffles with pride, especially looking at you, Mal. Such bravery in this incoming class, and such a bizarre occurrence. I can't remember any of those old costume trunks ever bearing a hint of magic, let alone that manner of transmutation. I will be having a word with the equipment managers over at the row stage. They are supposed to keep this sort of thing from happening. And she leans down, Mal, and produces a healing potion. And she's like, come, drink up. Can't have you limping around all day on the first day of school.
You know, I have to say, I can't complain. Every time I get hurt, some amazing person shows up and feeds me a health potion. So, like, I'd like to complain about all the things that we've had to attack, but then afterwards, like, hi, nice to meet you.
My dear boy, it's no harm should have come to you at all on our watch. The least we can do is restore you.
Professor, I'm I meant to do this, but I have a bit of a fragrance that I don't normally. It's not my scent, I think. Is there anything you could?
I didn't mean to be rude. I didn't know if
It
that
was
was
just I was trying something out. It was a new,
a
new style of
some sort of skunk derivation of Haragon. One never wants to be presumptuous.
Fair. I appreciate that, and but is there anything we can do about that?
Take a bath.
You see, she opens a pouch and she pulls out what looks like a little white jug. And she says, this might be a bit unpleasant, but it should be quite thorough.
All right.
And she uncorks the jar, and you see a glowing blue hand appears, carrying the jar over towards you as she still is sort of covering her nose, and just douses you in rubbing alcohol. Just
Oof. That stings on that cut I had, and
yes, quite sorry. Yes.
You see a little bit of the purple, the vibrant purple hair color that Nico has at the very ends of her hair, sort of run off a little bit with the alcohol.
Yes,
And then Niko produces a mage hand. Her mage hand is composed of vines that sort of form like fractals. So the leaves just sort of go out into shapes, and it goes to try and high five the other mage hand for a job well done.
You go to high five and it hesitates for a second, and then she goes, "Oh, yep, yes, yes, quite well done.
Thanks,
well
Professor.
done.
What college do you teach for?
Silverquill. I'm Professor Mavinda Sharpbeak.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, and I'm just a little curious. This is the we've been attacked a few times now. Is this a regular occurrence at the school? Did the teachers usually intervene, or is this just a one-time situation?
All of you give insight checks.
14?
14, 11, 10.
7.
This all seems legit.
My
She's like,
passive
"Well,
is 15, though, for what that's worth.
Oftentimes there are a number of experiments that take place on the campus. Perhaps creatures from other planes or dimensions might be brought in by students that are seeking a bit of a prank that might. But again, I'm not familiar with any such thing as this. And she just sort of nods towards the trunk.
Mal has stood up after drinking the health potion and is also now looking at the trunk. His short sword is still out, and he's gonna go, well, it's a good thing you had us around, and it's a good thing you had Theo to put it to sleep. Did you put it to sleep, or did you kill it? I probably shouldn't poke it, right?
No, I did not kill the creature. I merely, the draconic word is "dri" for sleep, and he completely butchers the pronunciation, by the way, because all he does is read. He hasn't actually heard these words. And
it's not the same.
And so, yeah, and so then he says it was merely just it was a rather simple spell that I picked up along the way. I mean, I'm not a caster that is really worthy of any kind of acclaim or.
But so Theo, is it asleep or is it out of commission?
No. It is asleep. It is certainly asleep. It's not like a deep sleep. It's just.
So, Professor,
like
do you think we can do something about this? Because if it wakes up, we're in trouble again.
Mel, give me a perception check.
I've prepared both swords when I hear do something about this, but I will look around with a 17.
Mel, it's just a wooden trunk. You would know if it was something else. You've seen enough things in Sigil. However, it is lined on the inside with a thick black liquid.
I'll withdraw the sword and stick my head perilously close to where there used to be teeth and be like, Theo, I think your sleep actually got rid of it, but you left some residue. What's with the black ichor in there? Oh, you see that? Ugh.
It's oily. To anybody that takes a look, once he points it out, it's black and oily. Gross.
Is there anything? It's not natural, I'm assuming, right?
How are you trying to figure that out?
By looking at the way that light refracts off of the oil slick.
I think nature would cover that. Yep.
Here, you want a closer look? And Mal is already one claw and is holding it up to
and I'm a little startled, and I roll a 7.
Professor Sharpbeak looks at it, and she actually pulls out a piece of a pair of spectacles, which make her owl eyes even bigger. And she's just like, I'm unfamiliar with this. It's probably just some sort of leather conditioner or something of the sort, I think.
Oh, I could use that, and I'll rub it on my armor because I'm wearing leather armor.
Alfred, do you think that this is true? Do you recognize it?
Oh, sorry, I should have showed this to. Oh, yeah, Alfred, you want to see this? Yeah.
Not that I don't trust you, Professor. It's just that Alfred's been here for a very long time, so I think that possibly he could know something.
Give me investigation or nature, Impa.
I get
guidance, Impa.
I have advantage on investigation, so if
have at it.
And then if you want to give me guidance,
yeah, please. So Impa, it's I can't say the word today. Refracting a little bit weird. I don't know why, but there's something off about it.
It's a 21.
This is not natural. And that's also not what mimics do. Mimics are living things that fake like they're inanimate objects. This is an inanimate object that became a mimic and then went back to being an inanimate object, which should not be a thing.
You say what, Alfred? Well, I've never heard of that. I suppose, all right. Well, this isn't very natural, he says, and, well... Sorry, Alfred, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again? It wasn't... Right. I don't know. It's not natural.
She looks down at it and she's like, well, I shall take it and dispose of it forthwith then. And she leans down and she's about to pick it up and she says, please don't tell the other students about this, but she reaches in her coin purse and she pulls out 4 platinum pieces. And she says, I shall be watching your careers with promise. And she holds out the money to you.
I don't know if I can accept a bribe for silence. That probably would...
I'm asking for no such thing.
I've already taken it, and I'm looking at it like, wow. I haven't had this much money ever.
Pretty sure,
I mean,
that Theo was
it
right.
might offset your scholarship there, Theo.
I believe that this is some kind of test, likely.
I assure you, it is not. I understand that life here can be lonely when you're far from home, and extra creature comforts can be quite rewarding on occasion. You might want to get some coffee. You might want to perhaps have like a comforting bowl of soup until you get some sort of work study. I don't know what your
Theo,
situation is.
Work study.
How expensive are cups of coffee and bowls of soup here that you think I could live like a king for about several 10-day and sigil with this?
I must admit, I've never.
You know
had
who's
quite
got
so
2
much...
thumbs and doesn't ever need to buy coffee again? This gal.
No, Alfred. Yes, I agree. She is quite suspicious, but we
What?
better keep that on the down low.
I like
Who's suspicious?
What?
Does anybody else take the money?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the money.
Want to pass
I-
the test.
I assure you, young Theo, there is no test. You are welcome to it. I would
Theo.
say common courtesy would seem to indicate that you should accept it gracefully, young man.
Also, Theo, think about it this way. Every time that we did one of these tests, it gave us something like a reward. So even if she's like
There's not
making
a
something
test.
up and this is a test, you're supposed to take the reward, right? I mean, or you can give it to me if you really don't want the reward. I'm more than
Yeah, I'll
happy
take
to-
it. I'll take it too. You want to split it?
I would like it in writing that this is not
No.
a test and no form of entrapment.
Well, she actually like reaches down and picks up like a half-burned parchment and just kind of like shakes it and produces a quill that says,
Theo.
I, Professor Mavinda Sharpbeak, hath bequeathed 1 platinum piece to Theo, which was not a test, with no other consideration whatsoever, and signs it and turns it to you and hands you the coin.
Theo,
Theo
you're
studies
so
it
proud
very
of your
closely.
scholarship. You know what the scholarship is? Your scholarship is teachers giving you money. This is a teacher giving you money. It's the same thing.
Very well. It seems
Hey,
all the
you know what?
documentation is in order, so I
Impa,
should
now,
graciously accept.
We all got scholarships.
Mhm.
So this, wow.
And she looks at you, Impa, and she's like, do you need a similar non-binding, hold harmless agreement?
I
to,
would recommend it.
Oh no! I couldn't take it. I didn't do anything. I simply was a bystander. I don't deserve this.
I'm gonna lean over to Impa and say, I could have sworn that you talked Theo into coming back over here, and he put that thing to sleep and killed it, and then put it to sleep again, and
I
then
did
killed
not
it, and
kill
saved
it,
my life.
no.
Did you see what was going on with my
that is
life?
not the
You knocked
recounting
it out,
of,
Theo.
of
You knocked
facts.
it out. You didn't
By
kill it.
golly,
You knocked it out.
You're right. Alfred, I helped in a fight. Yes, I will take that coin.
And she just holds it out to you, and you see she smiles broadly as an owl and beak can smile. And she's like, I rather like you, Miss Impa. When you are thinking about your college, perhaps maybe all of you should take a closer look at Silver Quill. We always have need of high-quality students such as the 4 of you. And she does hand you the coin.
Yes, I do still think she's very suspicious, but Right. I mean, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you
picks-
so much, Professor.
She picks up the trunk and she says, I shall go and have a closer look at this before I have it destroyed. You all enjoy the rest of your first day. You should probably report over to get your dorm assignment before it's too late.
Oh, oh no.
I did want to check out back where we were to see who was messing with the lights for us as we were doing our test.
Oh, yeah, did we ever-
put that on hold and we were going to come back to it?
Yeah, we never got. We were doing the whole scavenger hunt thing, and we were in the middle of performing, and we were gonna.
And then there was the chest with the teeth and the trunk with the teeth, the chest, the trunk, the various body parts with teeth that we don't want teeth on. So, I
All
think we
of
should
you,
just,
give me investigation. You all can, and still with advantage if that's your thing, Impa.
Yeah.
Very perceptive locks it on.
14.
Dirty 20.
14. Dirty 20. Impa.
That's actually not bad. 16.
Impa, you notice the list of clues that you were given. Little golden check marks have appeared next to each one, as if you've already done it.
Oh, well, I suppose that we're done here.
Oh yeah, do we remember where we're supposed to go turn this in? Do we turn it in?
Did we win?
You have successfully completed the scavenger hunt. Yep.
Woohoo!
I think we don't turn anything in. I think we just enjoy the prizes we got. And now we have to go do the dorm thing and get roommates, and I'm quite nervous about it.
Oh, why are you nervous?
Because people, you know.
Well,
I find it very difficult to find people of which will be able to tolerate some of the habits that I have formed over the years.
Listen, sometimes you just got a room with a bunch of people that ain't your friends, they ain't your family, they ain't anybody except people who are going to help keep you warm at night when things get really cold, and that's okay. So you
That
deal with
sounds
whoever.
horrible.
It's not so bad. No, when
Nico.
you're in it together, yeah.
Yes.
Nico, this vinegar is still kind of all over you, and sort of rubbing alcohol rather kind of gets in your eyes. And when you kind of like rub it away and you open, you actually see standing next to Impa what looks like a very, very old weathered knight. He's got kind of ill-fitting armor, and his cheeks are kind of sunken in like heavily crow's feet. He looks like he would have been a man well past 80 winters, but still wearing his armor.
You must be Alfred. Huh. He's got nice armor, Impa.
You can see him.
He's right there.
You see he holds
And
his
I point to
shield
the
up,
right place.
and he just kind of slaps his shield and he holds it in front of Impa, and he's like,
Right.
Yeah, I appreciate that you protect Impa. Impa's really, I like her a lot. She seems really nice. Like, actually, I don't know, Alfred, how you feel about this, but I was thinking about asking Impa if she wanted to, hey, Impa, I was thinking, I should tell you, not Alfred, but, I was thinking about, like, maybe we could room together? But,
Hey.
Alfred, does that mean you room with us, too?
Oh,
You
no,
see-
he respects
That's
privacy.
against the rules.
he walks towards you, Nico, and you see him very clearly, like, walk all the way around you, like he's inspecting you, and he just goes,
Fantastic.
This is I mean, you really want me to be your roommate. Somebody actually wants me to be around them.
Well, you seem really nice and you seem really quiet, which might be a really fantastic thing to have in a roommate.
Right? Okay. Yes. Oh, I had so much anxiety about this moment about getting dorm mates, and now I feel
And I
really
reach up
good
and I
about
can't
this.
quite put my hand on her shoulder because I'm very small and she's very tall, but I sort of touch her arm reassuringly.
Oh.
So, Nico, I mean, not to make this about me, but I thought we were rooming together because, we've kind of grown up for decades. And
We had enough years with bunk beds, Theo. I think it's time to
that
make some
means
new
that
friends.
now I have to find a roommate, and I was not aware of that challenge facing me because I thought that I would just be simply bunking with you like we have our entire
Well,
lives.
then maybe you should have talked to me about that before you made that assumption.
It was a perfectly reasonable assumption to make.
Is you all make your way over to housing as these complaints continue. When you arrive there, all of you notice every once in a while in the area or around Impa, every once in a while out of the corner of your eye, you see what looks like a shield, what looks like Alfred's shield. Just every once in a while, it's like you're kind of, and then it's not there. And then like it's over there again. You're like, you, Nico, very much see him. You see him for about the next minute, and as you are walking out, you see that he is in front of her, like he's protecting her, and then he's
nice
gone.
to know that he's there and where he usually is. I'm trying to figure that out just in case he goes away again, and I'm randomly. So Alfred, I apologize if I point to the wrong place. Normally I haven't been able to see you before. I don't know if because we did the thing with the hitting the trunk, or if because we did, well, it can't be because we won the scavenger hunt. I don't know, but then they would maybe the coffee.
Yeah, I can't see.
I drink so much caffeine that I can see through time.
This place seems like it is bursting at the seams with wild and chaotic magic. However, when you all arrive at the housing authority, there is a very old and wizened looking turtle sitting there. Young Master Theo, perhaps we could pair you with a nice dragonborn. Lovely folks, don't let the name deceive you. They lack wings and a tail, but they...
I believe that I am allergic to scales. I have had several run-ins over the years with lizards. Our home used to have lizards all the time, and Nico would go about fluttering and capturing the lizards, and all of a sudden when they came near me, my fur would underneath my fur, naturally my fur did not do this, but my skin underneath my fur would break out in hives, and so it had to be the lizards. So I don't think a dragonborn will work for me.
How about a nice dwarf then, perhaps? Small, stout, they can be boisterous, excellent companions.
I am here to study and to truly become the valedictorian of my class. And what I have heard about dwarves is that they come here to turn this into a party-style environment. There's so much drinking, that kind of alcohol. My father was alcoholic, and so therefore I do not want to be exposed to revelry on that scale.
Can be a hurtful stereotype to generalize, but the average dwarf does enjoy their cups. How about an elf? Long-lived, very erudite, not as prone to gallivanting as you, perhaps someone you could match intelligence and wits with then.
I mean, it seems like it could be a nice fit, but honestly, it's going to depend on truly their disposition. Because what I would like to say is that I do shed an awful lot. I have a lot of hair on my body, and it just gets everywhere.
Lady Pike it, and I just swoop on up, and I put my head. I land right behind Theo, but I am also tiny, and he is large, and I stick my head just wherever he can see me. I go, yeah, he's rooming with me. We got to keep together. Malachi Komanek. The two of us are staying together. Sorry about all the confusion. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, you could just put the two of us together. It'll be fine.
Oh.
How presumptuous! But
is that acceptable for you, young Master Theo?
And even though I'm super short under you, my head turns almost 180 to.
I have to read late into the evenings. Will the candlelight bother thee?
Nah, it'll be fine. Listen,
Okay.
I used to bunk in my old kip with like 20 people at a time. There was snoring, there was people drooling acid, there was people coming and going all the time. There's no way you could bother me. It'd be fine.
You're not going to do those things, are you?
Well, definitely not the acid. Probably not the snort. I've been told I'm really, really quiet when I want to be. Other things, you know, I might come and go. You never know. But I'm pretty quiet, so you won't hear me go. You won't hear me come. It'll be fine.
Theolorn.
Theolorn. Yes.
Mal
yes.
is great. Mal has saved your butt like 4 or 5 times since we've been here. Mal seems
only known
fantastic,
Mal
and Mal
for
is
a
offering
day.
to room with you.
I find your terms acceptable over an unknown elf or dwarf or dragonborn or whatever else they were going to try to throw me.
You flatter me. You really do. Yeah, put the 2 of us down. It'll be fine.
She reaches down and makes an entry in the ledger and is like, good. Has one of you recently been exposed to rubbing alcohol?
It should evaporate quickly.
Deathly
It was,
allergic to
Druidcraft, maybe make some flowers bloom.
If you would, the rest of you, who else did you have
Honestly,
rooming
everyone here is
assignments?
just allergic to everything. We've got to get some allergy treatments happening
you
at
two
the school.
going to
Right. Yes. But are you okay?
You see, she is making the entry in the ledger with your names. It's like blotches are beginning to appear on her skin. And she's like, I'm going to have to step away. Please enjoy your first day at Strixhaven. Oh, let's get it. And you see she just retracts into her shell right there.
We've killed her.
Sorry.
Nah, she's still alive.
Quickly.
See, yeah, no, I could see in one of the holes. Like they're still breathing in there. We'll go do what my new roomie always says to do and find a responsible adult.
Please leave the door open when you depart.
We'll also do that. We'll leave the door open when we depart. It'll be fine. Come on, everybody. Come on, roomie. Let's go. You want the top bunk or the bottom bunk? I really don't care. It's gonna be fine.
I prefer Theo over roomie, but yes.
All right, roomie Theo. That'll be fine. It'll be okay. It'll be great. So, like, you got posters on the wall. Really, everything I got with me is just in my bag.
Well, important point of clarification here, as you now have time to settle in and get into the flow of life at Strixhaven, after you've had some time to set up your rooms, what do they look like as you each have put your mark on them? It's small. It is enough for the 2 of you to have kind of, 20 by 20 to make your own.
Theo's side of the room is entirely just Spartanly sparse. It just nothing on there. The only thing that you see is an incredibly neatly stacked pile of books, as much as he was allowed to bring with him, or depending on how far this is down the road, how much the libraries will let him check out. Just books everywhere, but they are not in any kind of chaotic arrangement. They are very neatly placed everywhere. In fact, there would be places where he would probably make shelves out of books in order to hold more books, because he gripes all the time that all we were given was a single flat wooden desk, and so he's tried to make it into a layered one. Other than that, a whole lot of candles and a whole lot of wax that is kind of just emerged as a layer on virtually everything on his side of the room. Even though he pretty meticulously cleans it, it's just so much of it that it still ends up everywhere, just a really light coat.
Mal's side of the room is also incredibly neat and well put together, but unlike Theo's, it is filled with everything. It is filled because someone gave Mal a platinum, and that's more money than he's had to spend in his entire life. And so he has bought pretty much anything that he's come across: clothing, food, tchotchkes. He's got things that are actually worth having, things that are helpful, and then just like he spent the rest of it at the gift shop. But it is all artfully arranged and neat, and he keeps everything in order, and there's neat stacks of things, and he keeps it all clean. And whenever Theo complains about not having the book that he wants from the library, it just so happens that the next day Mal happens to have it for reasons. And then suddenly when Theo doesn't need it anymore, it somehow ends up back at the library, and it was just gone for a while. No one seems to know why, and it's fine. He also does have he keeps with him a lot of like birdseed and nuts and things that you could feed to little animals in containers and things, so that there's not rats or anything in their kip. But he keeps them with him all the time because Theo will find that he just happens to, whenever we're near any rats or mice or birds or any small animals, he's just like, hold on a second, I gotta go make some friends. Yeah, here you go. Here you go. Yeah. Jenna, Nicodemus, Justin. Yeah, get over here. All right. What's going on? Yeah. All right. And he's just making friends with all of the little animals in the place.
Excellent.
For our room, I think Nico has optimized the space by Tetrising things. You know how there was that one person in college who was able to make their room look like it was 10 times bigger than it actually was because they figured out how to move everything into just the right place. So I think it's as spaced out and Tetrised into a comfortable, welcoming space as possible. Niko is near the window, so she can see out, especially at nighttime, and her desk is right by the window, so the light of the moon can shine down on her desk. Constantly changing the decor, always putting up seasonal stuff, just always kind of going with whatever is happening with the world. And there is always a calendar up on the wall with certain dates that are noted in some way. Yeah, and plants, lots of fun plants.
Impa, yep.
Impa's side of the room is she's basically sheepishly taken just a corner of the room where she has set up a desk and put up a large Lorehold College banner, and all of the colors of Lorehold are kind of put out everywhere, a blanket, a scarf, and she's put up like maps of the campus and maps of the Lorehold ancient ruins and all the catacombs and things below, and meticulously placed out archaeology tools of for brushing off bones and magnifying glasses, and she's kind of made it a very cozy corner, and you can tell that she's very school spirit for Lorehold.
You all make your way into campus life fairly effectively. But you have a full ride of classes, one of which you have together, which is magical physiologies, and you're approaching your midterms. But as you all are making your way through day-to-day campus life, how do you all fill your time? Is there any particular type of club you join? Do you try to get a job doing something? There is a very active magical duel circuit where people actively try and utilize physical abilities to overcome each other. Oops, I'm frozen. I'm unfrozen. Overcome each other in one-on-one combat. Like, basically, how do you occupy your time on a normal day?
Mal is super studious. He's here to learn. He's actually probably getting frustrated at first because I don't think anyone's actually taught him any magic yet. And I'm here this is a school for magic, right? I'm here to learn magic. I want to do all the magic stuff, and no one's teaching. They're teaching me theory, and I'm learning it and everything. Theo, why isn't anyone teaching me how to do magic yet?
It's I share your concerns over that. I am also here to learn, and I feel like this is going at a snail's pace. And so ultimately, you see, Theo's day-to-day life is he is reading all the time. And you're noticing that, as he downs 2 books a day, as he is just going through them, you notice that more and more of them are taking on themes of the manipulation of time and chronergy magic, and there have been some times that this would likely be in a scene that none of the other characters would know about, but there have been a time or two where Theo has been very scared that he was about to get caught doing something very naughty, going into some restricted areas of the libraries in order to find certain books that he has heard about. So he's constantly pumping people for information about chronergy magic, and he is his threshold for risk of getting caught or breaking a rule has started to soften over the time that he's been spending at the university in order to try to find something very specific that he's looking for.
Theo, you're a sharp Leonin. Give me stealth with advantage. And Mal, give me perception.
I was about to say, well, here's the thing. Has Mal had any effect on you and your risk tolerance? Because
I think it's very fair to say yes.
Because all you got to do, you've probably figured it out by now that every time you're like, I wanted to take home 5 books from the library, but I can only get these 4. The 5th one just shows up, and then the 5th one goes away.
Smart, you don't need it anymore. And he is definitely picking up on it. Yes.
Mal, give me perception.
Okay. Oh, that's a natural 1 for a 6.
Oh no!
You're kidding me right now. What is going on?
Mel, every time you're like, I swear he's pulling a heist, but not him. Not him. If it were anybody else.
I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying. At some point I'm talking to the others, and I'm like, listen, Impa, Nico, I'm trying. I don't want him to get in trouble or anything, but just stay out past curfew a little bit so that we can go, and it'd be nice. But he just doesn't want to break any rules. Sorry.
It's Superman and Clark Kent, Mal. You're like, he can't be Superman. He just can't. Have you met this guy? Yeah, right. Yeah. It's not him. Yeah. All right. Impa, what's a normal day for Impa?
Impa loves learning, and especially history classes. So she's always asking for extra assignments for history. But in her off time, she and Alfred just roam the campus as far as they can go in search of other spirits who she just wants to know all the secrets, all the history of the campus, and all the things that have gone on in the school in the past 100 years or so.
Awesome. Nico, what's a normal day for Nico?
Yeah, so I think Nico is definitely going to explore, if not end up joining the cheer squad, because of Xanther coming and talking about it. And Nico's really good at jumping. If there's one thing Nico can do, Nico can jump. So it was gymnastics or cheer, and that sort of was where I was interested in going. Also, the horticulture club seemed really interesting. I'm curious about that. And then in terms of jobs, I think it's not a bad idea necessarily to have some jobs. So I've been working doing some grounds work sort of over near the magic labs, maybe listening a little bit to what's going on over there, but also getting a real lay of the land, finding some places that maybe are a little bit more remote from everybody in case I just ever need a break from all the folks around. So yeah, that's sort of, I can clear the plants pretty easily. So I've made friends with those 3 groups as well as studying. And I think it's important to note too that Nico has an accommodation for studying. Nico does better when she is able to study by moonlight. She struggles with reading. It's similar to dyslexia, unless she is under moonlight, which makes it easier for her to read. So she has worked out with teachers to be able to take her tests and study by moonlight when necessary.
Perfect. Again, you all over a few weeks integrate yourself into campus life, and it's not as fast as some of you would like, but overall you're all having a good time. And you find yourself in the last session of magical physiologies ahead of your midterm test, where your professor, Nico, who you particularly love, is Varelda Lang. She's a dryad. She has golden brown skin, and her hair looks almost like a bush covered in flowers. And she is small, but she is very poised and statuesque. And when she talks, it almost sounds like more like she's singing than just talking as she's explaining these things. And she stands at the front of the class and she says, "Now, class, you know tomorrow will be your final exam on the sloddy creatures. They can be terrifying, but only when you don't know how to handle them properly. These will be on the exam, so you should make a note of what I'm about to share with you. Slotty come in a number of different colors. They are aberrations, known for their regenerative abilities and magical resistance. Very difficult foes to defeat via combat and fisticuffs, so quite often you're better off simply trying to diffuse the situation. That's what sets us apart here. We aren't just those standard blunt instruments that stab first and think second," and she very much looks at you, Mal.
And I will do my best to not sneer at that comment because I'm trying to pay attention. But like, hey, I feel very called out right now here, Teach. Come on.
All slotty are dangerous and unpredictable, but red slotty and blue slotty are the least powerful and don't cast spells, poor things. Red slotty can use a gland under one of their claws to implant an egg in a humanoid. And she very much like pokes at you, Nico, when she does this, because you're one of her favorites. You'll be like, ooh. The egg eventually becomes a tadpole that bursts from the host's body and transforms into a full-grown blue slod, or a green slod if the host has any spellcasting capabilities. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah.
Well, green, gray, and death slotty can shapeshift into small or medium humanoids. Someone in this room right now could be one, and we wouldn't even know.
Am I a slod? Are you trying to tell me I'm a slotty?
No, I'm a slotty.
Wait.
You should not even jest about that, Mal. It's not good at all.
Who says I'm jesting?
Is Mal a slotty? Professor, is Mal a slotty?
Almost certainly not. No, he's simply joking, students. He's simply joking.
So
I'm just one of those slotty that can't cast any magic. That's all, but I'm still super dangerous.
But so how can you tell?
Well, green slotty usually wields a staff and has an affinity for hurling fireballs and magical flames. Have you seen Mal do such a thing?
No.
Death slotty are rumored to have a stench so terrible that you would drop dead just from smelling it. Although I heard a similar story, but it actually was she looks back at you, Nico.
There have been
like,
times in the privy that the stench has been unbearable.
Well, listen,
I didn't want a room with him.
Well,
I told you the last time I had a snack, Nicodemus was just a little hard to swallow. That's all.
You eat the rats?
Yeah, I mean, don't you? Why do you think I feed them?
That's quite predatory, I suppose. Although I mean,
that's the way of nature. So I suppose
that is true. I've witnessed it.
But they're your friends, and generally eating your friends is.
I never said they were my friends.
It's frowned upon.
No, they're not my friends. I just, us slotty. We just like, making allies and then making it easier to catch, right?
Well, Miss Impa, I see with your studious notes there, do make a note that that is SLAAD, S-L-A-A-D. That is not a typo. It is inexperienced and young scholars often make this correction unintentionally. It is quite offensive to call them salads.
This is very good to know.
To call them what?
Salads.
Oh.
Salads. They are
Are they vegetative?
No, it's no. It is simply a spelling snafu that comes up quite commonly.
Right,
Yes.
but if they don't like being called salad, do you know this for a fact? Has this happened in history? What has happened when someone calls them salad?
Well, here's the issue. If they get terribly cross, we never find out. You see, because they...
Oh.
Yes.
They explode.
Or hurl
No,
fireballs,
I think
as aforementioned. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Well,
no.
either way, tomorrow for your exam, you will be tested on SLAAD facts and diffusing SLAAD confrontations. I highly recommend you all study. It will be very difficult.
Is there
listen.
something in particular we should practice, or is it just learning the facts?
Only the things that I've just said.
Oh boy.
Yes. I assure you will be fine. Yes. Go study and return tomorrow for the exam.
Listen, I'll be fine. You just ask me any questions that you want. I mean, I'm a slotty after all, right?
You, Mal, you, and you hear the bell ring, dismissing all of you. Then you should pass with flying colors, shouldn't you, Mal?
Oh, you just you wait. It's like this test was written just for me. It'll be great.
Those colors could be red, blue, green, gray, and death.
She's like, yes, you wouldn't think death is a color, and yet, and she closes the doors behind you as you all are leaving.
Yes, death could be a color.
I like that. Death is a color.
Yes, death is a color.
Cool.
It's a good band name.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my next band that.
As
yeah.
we are walking back wherever, Theo is going to shadow to some degree wherever Mal is going, and over the next 10 minutes, ritually casting Detect Magic. Not letting on like it's happening or anything, but just to be completely certain.
Great.
I was totally gonna roll a deception check in the middle of class and see how many people I could convince I was a slot.
You know, roll it. Let's just see how convincing you were overall. We'll know because science.
That's a 21. I mean, I've had to.
Oh, Lord,
I
you
have
got
had
to be
to-
kidding me! I just rolled insight just to see what Theo would think to that.
Yep.
And if you count it, it was also a 1 on the die.
Theo, you've been rooming with a slod this entire time, apparently. Like, what? Why did anybody ask if he was a slod?
Theo is having an existential crisis.
Listen, Theo, just don't tell anybody. It'll be fine. It'll be our little secret. And
There
look at
are
it this
so
way:
many
we're gonna.
questions that I have.
And the good thing is tonight, when we study for our test, you're gonna ace this. You got me.
But then
Just-
what? Are you going to kill me while we sleep?
No, why would I do that? If I'm going to study with you, then, we'll go take the test tomorrow together.
So
It'll be
then
great.
after the test, when you've used me for the power of my brain, are you going to then kill me?
Yeah, probably.
While you're hearing this, murmurs of excited curiosity ripple through the cluster of students around you, and another student suddenly barrels towards you, laughing uproariously. It is one of your fellow cheer team members, Nico. You have got to see this. We found these weird frogs and we snuck them into the fireside lounge at the Fire Jolt Cafe. Now we're gonna race the little hoppers. Quick, you've got to come see this before our teacher finds out and shuts this down. Come here.
That sounds awesome.
Yep. Do you
Racing
all
frogs.
go?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Into the Fire Jolt Cafe. Yes.
I mean, they're my kin. They're racing my kin. Come on, Theo, let's go take a look.
Okay.
Is you all come into the cafe, which you've been to many times now. The lounge is filled with sofas and armchairs that you can relax. There's fireplaces in the northern corners lit by continual flame spells, and the air buzzes with excitement and the smell of coffee as you make your way towards the back of the fire-joled cafe and duck into the lounge to witness the scene. Hidden from the view of the barista station, the lounge's central table has been pushed towards the wall and its chairs haphazardly tossed out of the way. In the middle of the room hop 4 unusual frogs. Each is glowing in vibrant colors, red, blue, violet, and orange, and has been outfitted with a tiny costume. One wears a makeshift cape, another has suspenders, a third wears a stylish bow tie, and the fourth has a top hat perched jauntily on its head. Someone has used chalk to mark lanes on the floor, and multiple students are trying to corral the frogs into a starting position. One of them looks up at you and says, "Hey, you're just in time. You want to race frogs with us?" So you all have an option to do one of 3 things. You can race a frog, you can cheer on a coach, or you can heckle another coach.
Or we could go get someone to shut down this illegal racing.
You also could narc. That's the 4th option, is narking. That's true. Yeah.
You said there was what were the colors of the frogs again? Just the colors. The red, blue.
The colors are red, blue, violet, and orange. And one in a cape, one in suspenders, one with a bow tie, and one with a top hat.
If I get the sense that Theo is going to go report this to the authorities, I'm going to very quickly swoop up to him and put a wing. It would be a wing around his shoulders, but he's huge and I'm tiny. So it's like a wing around his arm. I'm going to say, listen. This is like a study opportunity, okay? We're going to sit here, we're going to watch, and we're going to remember all the stuff about the red and blue slotty, and we're not going to call us salads. We're going to call us slotty, and we're going to study while we do this, right? This is interactive studying. This is not anything you need to worry about, right?
I think you blew his mind.
I think it blew. Did we lose Theo?
Wait, I was not aware that you were talking to me. I was looking for the nearest adult.
Listen, sometimes I talk way too fast. No. Don't worry about it. This is not anything you need to talk to an adult about. This is like a different way of studying. You know how sometimes you got to study, but you don't just read books. You experience in real life.
Know what you're talking about?
Well, come sit with me, and we're gonna study the red and the blue ones, and we're gonna be prepared for tomorrow's test.
Books are the pathway to knowledge, not illicit racing.
Let's make this a little more sporting. Everybody, let's pony up some cash. Let's put a winner's pot together. And you see they start throwing coins out of their pockets. And pretty soon there is a winning prize of about 30 gold pieces.
Yeah, Theo, come on. We gotta.
Sounds like fun.
I have no need for the gold. I am on scholarship.
And I'm telling you, we're studying slotty. We're just studying their smaller cousins. It's fine. Come here.
Listen, I know that you are the one that are procuring the books that I need, at least upon occasion, because I am far too meticulous in my librarying and the organization of the books inside our dorm room. And so I know that it is you. And just because I am appreciative of you bringing that kind of knowledge into our room, I am going to give you the benefit of the doubt and go along with this at least for a little while. But if anything starts to go completely sideways, then I am going to run out of this place, likely silently and completely getting away from it, where I am not implicated in anything that is about to go down in a wrong way.
Mal does the thing that owls do where they turn their head completely sideways, and he goes, nothing's gonna go sideways, it's gonna be fine.
So
comforting.
Yeah, you can race, you can cheer, or you can heckle. So who's doing what?
Oh, I do think I'd like to try racing. I'm quite fond of the top hat.
I would also like to race.
2 racers, okay?
Yeah, this seems
I
like
am
fun.
going to heckle.
You're gonna heckle? All right. Perfect. Perfect.
I'll cheer on. I
in-
will be the cheer person.
And cheer on. Perfect. If you've got the top hat there, Impa, did you want
I would
cape,
like the suspenders,
or
please.
suspenders? All right.
Team
perfect.
suspenders. Thank you very
So,
much.
Here is how this is going to work. You all are going to roll animal handling to encourage your frog to run faster than the other frogs. However, I need to know what exactly you are doing to motivate this frog to hop faster than the other ones. So we'll start with you, Impa. How are you motivating your frog?
All right. Go frog. Death is chasing you, so you have to go faster than death.
But before you roll the animal handling, Nico, how are you motivating your frog?
I would like to use Druidcraft.
Mm-hmm.
May I make a small fly that flies right ahead of it, like characteristic style? Mm-hmm.
Perfect. And give a carrot. All right. Perfect.
And then, if I may, I'd like to use guidance with this as well.
Allowed to use guidance.
Oh yeah, you can both have guidance. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Level the playing field.
Theo, the other two competitors, there is an orc with comedically oversized tusks, just impractically big tusks coming out of his head, that has taken to racing one of the other frogs. And
I love tusks.
Whomst among us doesn't? Those books are incredible.
I read all books.
And also a particularly thin kobold has picked up number 4 and has stepped up to the line to race. So who are you going to heckle of the potential? You could heckle Impa or your sister if you so chose.
Impa, your ears are so big. No. I am going to heckle the orc.
All right, you're gonna heckle the orc, okay? And who are you going to cheer for, Mal?
I'm gonna flip a coin between my two friends, which means I'm gonna roll a quick d20.
Okay.
So oh geez, all right, single digits it's Impa, double digits it's Nico. Let's see.
Okay.
Single digits it's Impa. So I'm rooting for Impa.
All right.
And am I encouraging Impa or am I encouraging the frog?
Dealer's choice, really.
Because I happen to be proficient in animal handling. Can I give her advantage on her animal handling check?
Well, the way this is going to work out mechanically is that is what you were going to do. You're just going to tell me how that actually happens. What you're actually doing to help.
I come up to Impa as she's getting ready to encourage this frog and talk about death. Impa, if you really, really want to get this frog moving, I can help a little bit. And I'm gonna puff out my feathers and I'm gonna get into predatory stance as frogs are one of the things I love to eat. I'm an owl. So I'm gonna stand there. I'm gonna be waiting to snack on this thing if it doesn't move fast.
Perfect. So yes, Nico, roll your animal handling. Impa, roll your animal handling with advantage.
And I'm gonna add my guidance.
You both have your guidance.
Yeah, also adding my guidance.
That is a 23.
Anything?
Seriously? I'm at 22.
You all see 2 of these frogs barely move and the other 2 just take off like they've been fired out of a cannon, and they are completely neck and neck, and you see one of the eyeballs rotates around and looks at Mal behind it and just
but does my Druidcraft do anything to help it?
No, that's just explaining how you are motivating it. Yep. That it edges across the line, narrowly beating the other one. It wins by a top hat. Yep. And the students,
I knew it.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my
yeah, legally distinct, you know. And the students cheer and pick up the bag of gold and hand it to you, Impa. And they're just like, yeah, Impa, 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 Impa.
I fail to see how this is helping us study.
I've never been this popular before. It's weird. I don't know if I like it.
Theo, your detect magic goes off as the frogs finally hop across the line, and they stop and they're like burp, 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 and they start to burp in a black oily substance that you've seen before. It starts coming out of their mouths and they start to grow as they turn into giant frogs and whip around and look at you, Mal, like round 2. Roll initiative.
All right. I respect that. I earn that. And I pull out my swords. Let's go.
Yep. Everybody roll initiative here.
I am kidding you not.
19.
That is a natural 20.
Wow.
This is
I mean,
I
are we
gotta talk
really,
to these folks.
are we really surprised at all?
It's why wouldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? Here, let me just do this real quick. Here, I'll just get it from you in real time. So that is a 20 for Impa. What's it for Theo?
5.
Mal.
10.
All right. Nico.
19.
All right. In the monsters, got a 13. Nico,
Yes.
give me either perception or survival.
As that's going on,
Mhm,
Adam is going to punch through here and just simply say that since we have had an absurd something like a dozen 1s and 20s today, there is quite a bit of goodies for you to mine over however we see fit over the next little bit in the chat. I just wanted to make sure that because I don't know if we're ever going to catch up.
I've inserted a few of them
Okay,
as we've been going through here.
Wow.
Which that spectral shield that is around you, you have a +2 bonus to your AC, Impa,
Nice.
by the way. Yep.
Cool.
Because Alfred is protecting you.
Oh.
Also, that effect for Mal, you're immune to being intoxicated by alcohol for the next 5d6 days. That seems a curse rather than a benefit, but
I just rolled
fine.
a 5d6 and that was 20. So for the next 210 day, I am on a bender every single night.
you could win a lot of bets though. Just like go over to the Dwarven Student Union and you're like,
This tiny little thin owl is just like, hey, top shelf me. Let's do this.
yeah, put everybody under the table. All right. However, what was that?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Nico, you're aware that something has been done to these creatures. It may not be necessary to destroy them to stop them.
Okay.
They clearly want to fight. You see, they have this black liquid kind of coming out of their mouths, and their eyes are bloodshot and wild.
But hey, let's just take a second here and think about this. No, look, something, is changing things that shouldn't be changed. Let's see if they have do they seem like they're just like enlarged frogs?
Oh, they seem very aggressive. Yeah, but I mean,
but just in terms of what they are, I know they're aggressive, but do they seem like animals or do they seem like monstrosities? Do they seem like slotty?
No, they just look like the same little frogs became big frogs and want to throw hands.
We were able to successfully navigate them around with the things that helped them get to the finish line. In the thing, maybe is there a way to try and what would sedate a frog?
Well, Impa's gonna go first. You have one chance to say something to her before she does what she does.
You might be able to do something without killing them. Let's try and work this out and not kill them.
Yes, I wouldn't wish death upon them. I mean, then it would
Only
be like,
threaten it.
only threaten it. I don't mean it.
I mean, I meant it. That's how you know you mean it, is you say what you mean.
However, it is your turn, Impa.
Do they still have their little things on? It's like a little top hat on this frog.
But it didn't grow though, so it's like a very little top hat on the top of its head. Yeah.
I just wanted to picture that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's about the size of a really, really big dog or a small horse, basically.
Are these grung? Are we now being attacked by grung?
Oh my god.
Nope, it's a giant frog.
Okay.
Yeah. I will never attack you with grung of my own free will from my Murloc trauma. They're banned at my table. That's
Yeah. Okay. Impa is gonna look around, but they were very cute frogs, and I don't want to hurt them. So you guys are pretty smart. You'll figure out something to do. And she blesses. I'll bless all three of them.
Ooh.
okay. Anything else from Impa?
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
I only have 2 spell slots. So
I mean,
so much as I want to do things, I will hold off.
perfect. All right, now it is your turn, Nico. You feel this blessing upon you.
Do I have any? Is there anything I can see that would give me some insight into how to work with these creatures? I mean, I have a decent animal handling.
You know what motivated them last time. Yeah.
So am I rolling? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, animal.
I
Yeah,
rolled
you
it.
could roll animal handling. Yeah.
So it's a 14.
And you're blessed. So if you
You're blessed.
Oh, plus blessing.
D4.
D4. Oh, but
Is
it's not a. It's an
Oh.
ability check, not.
Yeah,
But I
blessings
could
and
access
tackles.
it if I need to.
Yeah. I gotcha.
But I would rather
I'll-
save the action just in case.
I'll give you the guidance. So,
Okay.
Yeah. Roll guidance.
So 17.
Because you get the distinct sense that it was not going to listen to you. But as you tap into your mystical connection of nature, what is it that you are trying to convince your frog to do?
Not attack us. To sit back and chill out. Maybe sing a song. Maybe I start trying to hum a frog song.
I mean, I have to hear what humming a frog song sounds
Yeah,
like. I mean,
very
I have to. Like, it's now Schrodinger's frog song. Again, legally distinct. Yes. You see, it looks at you, Nico, and it opens its mouth and hisses. But as you continue to kind of hum, it just sort of starts to like rock slightly a little bit too, and seems just kind of like sits back down. And you see its eyes look a little less wild, like it's not going to attack you.
Can I should I reach out a hand to check that it's calm? Or does that seem like if I start to?
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, the other 3 are still very angry, but it seems like this one has stopped.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then I will start to turn my attention to them, I guess, to help if I can over there.
All right. Dope. Well, anything else for you right now?
I guess I could cast some druidcraft of like lily pads unfolding to give them a sense of home and try and assist with that, getting them to feel comfortable and safe.
Perfect. Unfortunately, it is
I already cast guidance. So
yes. No problem. Unfortunately, it is the remaining 3 angry frogs' turn.
Angry frog.
Angry frogs. Mel, what is your AC?
14.
And Impa, what is yours?
19.
And what is yours, Theo?
10.
Okay. You see the first frog pounces towards you, Impa, and its jaws are about to close on the tip of your trunk, and you see Alfred's shield appear and just interpose itself, and you see down its mouth as it is still kind of trying to bite to get to you, but it can't. Theo, one of them lunges forward and bites you on the leg for 4 points of damage. Give me an athletics check, Theo.
Frog legs.
Athletics.
Or acrobatics, whichever's higher.
No, athletics is 17.
You are absolutely able to wriggle your leg out of it because you get the distinct impression that it was about to start trying to swallow you. Speaking of swallowing, it also bites you for 4 points of damage. Mal, also give me acrobatics or athletics.
Okay. That's a 6.
You all see it hump and has Mal in its mouth. You have not been swallowed yet, but you take for 4 points of damage and it just has you.
I'm gonna eat you from the inside. I'm gonna make sure it's listen, oh God, your breath smells so bad.
And Mal, it is your turn. Actually, hang on. Let me just double check one thing real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Nope. You're in its mouth, but you've yet to be swallowed. You are restrained though.
Well, poopy. What do I got to do to get out of its mouth?
You can't move. You can attack, but you can attack with disadvantage.
Okay.
You can.
I mean, I drew both swords as soon as this thing came, decided to get big. So I'm swallowed with both swords in my mouth. And so, yeah, I think I would just start stabbing the roof of this thing's mouth.
All right. You start stabbing away.
Yeah.
Roll with disadvantage, but you can start attacking.
All right. First attack is, a natural 1 for a 6. That is the okay.
One of your swords gets stuck to the tongue inside of there, and you just kind of can't.
This is the worst. It's the absolute worst. All right, here we go. We'll try again. We'll try again with disadvantage. That's a 19 and a 3 for an 8. Does an 8 hit?
An 8 doesn't. It is just gooey and.
This I will add the bless to, just in case. Okay. 10.
10 is still not enough.
All right. Okay.
You feel like you should be disassembling this thing, but it is just gooey and sticky in here.
I'm gonna get your tongue and teeth. I didn't even know frogs had teeth. What is that?
Theo, however, it is your turn.
Oh man.
You have witnessed Nico calm one down. You've also witnessed one actively gobble up Mal.
Okay, so I feel a great deal of affinity for Mal at this stage because mainly
Theo,
just transactional.
They're animals. They don't know what they're doing.
But I wonder.
Neither does Mal.
I don't want to hurt other creatures, and so I just I simply wonder if you heard the one. I was awake all night, wondering where the sun went, but then it dawned on me, and I cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the frog that is trying to swallow Mal right now.
He can't swallow me if he's laughing. I mean, this is a good plan. I like this.
It's 13 on the save DC.
What'd you roll?
Is
it a 1 or 20? Is it 1 or 20?
Y'all know I rolled a 20.
Oh my god.
No, I will, since it's been a few days, I will go ahead and silvery barbs as a reaction.
Can you do that on a saving throw?
I believe so.
I mean, as long as you can, I'll allow it. I'm just not familiar with that off the top
I can
of my
only
head.
do it once per long rest. Distract the trigger creature when it succeeds on an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Well, okay.
I don't think it's going to matter. You're going to have to, like, what does that remove? A D4?
No, he has to
If-
re-roll the
if- if-
d20,
if-
Oh.
and
forces
it
to
also will
reroll.
give advantage to someone I can see. Which can I see amidst the laughter? Can I see Mel?
I'll let you give it to Mel. You
It's
said
a wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13. Unfortunately, that pushed it to 13 exactly on the die when I rolled it the second time. So it gets a droll snicker. It exhales sharply through its nostrils.
That's all I've got. Good luck, Mal.
It was enough though that you see like one talon foot sticking out, so you can give me advantage.
Thanks, I
However,
appreciate it. It's great.
we are back around to the top with Impa. Again, there are 3 actively hostile ones, one of which has Mal in its mouth.
Oh.
You
Mal.
also witnessed Nico calm one down, though.
Hey, I just don't know if I can do anything. They're just frogs. And okay, all right, Mal, don't worry, I'll take care of you. And she's gonna kind of clap her hands and throw her trunk out and cast healing word on Mal as he's being eaten.
Okay, how much are you gonna heal him for?
6 points.
Hey,
Perfect.
I will be a full meal when I enter this frog's belly.
Keep you alive.
Healing
longer.
word's a bonus action, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But
Yep,
it was
so-
my last spell slot. But it's okay. I've got
yeah.
cantrips.
Yeah, or you could attempt to calm it down.
Oh, I could have come to cut down. Okay, all right.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Impa is going to rely on her Luxodon Serenity. So she's going to start humming an ancient tune that she learned from a spirit long ago. But she only sings it at a whisper because she's very, very shy. Long ago, the calm times have come by. I don't. Is it working? Alfred, is it working? I'm afraid to look. Alfred, you look for me.
What does Luxodon Calm do?
It doesn't really do anything. I mean, in this set, it gives me advantage on saving throws against being charmed or frightened.
Oh, Luxodon are just chill though. Okay, all
Yeah,
right. Well,
they're just chill.
give me animal handling, but you can add a D4 to it.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
I'm gonna add a D4 to that and be a 4. Nope. Okay, so that's a 16.
You're attempting to calm down the one that's eating Mal.
Yes.
You see, it just sort of turns and looks at you, and it just like opens its mouth like "Ma," and you see Mal attached to its tongue inside its mouth, but it does just like look at you like, "Oh."
I'm in the process of killing it right now. Really, I am.
Anything else from Impa?
No.
All right, Nico.
So we have one that is calmed down, one that has Mal in its mouth, but it seems to be calm, and then
2 that are still actively angry.
2 that are still actively angry. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to one of those. And I will use guidance and then do the same thing.
Go ahead and roll it.
So animal handling. So that's going to be a 19 plus my guidance.
I will actually say with the result, was the guidance? Push it
It's
over.
a 4, so it's a 23.
I will say with a success that high, both of the other 2 stop, and they just kind of turn and look at you and are like, and kind of just rock in unison with you. It is their turn, and they don't do anything hostile, and it doesn't try and swallow you, Mal. However, does Mal try and get out, or does Mal still start trying to kill it?
Oh, that's a good question. Am I still stuck to its tongue, or am I like released now?
Well, since it opened its mouth, you are no longer restrained.
Okay. I will plunk out of its mouth, covered in spit. I will.
And that same black oily substance that you saw before is all over you.
Yeah. Hey, look, everyone! I'm a walking piece of evidence of what's going on here. All right, so we got a quartet of frogs. Y'all have figured out how to turn them into a singing group. That's kind of awesome. Should I
give
stab
me-
them now,
you-
or are we
give-
talking to people?
Mal, give me perception with advantage.
I tried to tell all of you this is what happens when you break the rules.
Or investigation if that happens to be higher. I don't know that it is, but I'll take either.
No, it is not. I got a 19.
You personally touched it last time, and it was just black and oily. Now it smells really sweet, like something's been done to it.
But it feels the same?
Mhm.
Okay.
It's definitely the same stuff, but now it's really sweet.
So so the first time I'd stuck it on my finger, a bunch of people looked at it, and I was told, oh, it's like the stuff you put on your leathers. And so I wiped it on my leathers. I'm wearing my leather armor under my school robes because you never know when like giant frogs are going to show up and try to kill you.
Clearly.
I would like to lift up my robes and do a point at where the schmear is and point at where the rest of me is covered and be like, the new stuff. This like, oh, it smells better at least, but it's not exactly the same. It's like someone did a difference.
Theo starts to cast Identify.
Ooh.
Perfect. What is Identify going to let you find out?
It is going to let me know. It is first of all going to use my last spell slot, but then it is going to. Now it is going to take 11 minutes if that's
fine.
impactful.
In fact.
Well, if you spend a spell slot, you should do it immediately.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
only
sorry.
11 minutes
you
if
are
you do
right.
it ritually.
You are right.
After about 1 minute, you see the frog shrink again. Back to 4 just big frogs.
We did it.
However, you can cast Identify. I just wanted you to know, since we're talking, since time is potentially a factor. After a minute, they shrink.
One object that I can touch, and so Theo is very gingerly touching this. Like, I have to touch it for the spell, and so therefore, and he's just touching it with as little as he possibly can, like with the edge of his claw.
I'm holding out an elbow for him as I'm looking over at this shrunken frog. I'm like, all right, no hard feelings, okay?
If it's a magic item or some other magic imbued object, I can learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. I learn it whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, I can learn which spell created it.
This is actually a very brilliant thing. So brilliant, I'm actually going to put a pin in what I tell you because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. But I will give you the fact that you find out something important about
Sounds
this.
great.
Yeah, I just want to misquote it. Y'all heard
I'm good.
Audience. Make sure we will start with what you
I will
learned.
hold you accountable.
Yeah.
Here, we'll save some of this for later as you're studying, and I'm going to wipe some of it off, and I'm going to open up the robe, and I'm going to put the second schmear next to the first schmear. So now we have like, I've got just exactly lots and cream cheese. It's going to be great. So I've got these 2 schmears on my armor of these 2 different.
I was about to say, don't mix the ooze jar with the caviar jar. Like you don't want to.
Not a good combo.
However, with the time that we have left, I do want to do your studying phase, and we'll take your test. The way this works, there's a pretty ingenious set of mechanics that works behind the scenes to figure out how well you prepare, and then you're going to have a shot at it on the exam. So my first question is, you all have a couple of different options. You can study by yourself, you can pull an all-nighter, you can study together, or you can skip studying completely. So what would you like to do?
Mal definitely will start with Theo, but we'll go to all 3 of you to try to study together, because what Mal has discovered and what he kind of knew before coming to Strixhaven was he learns by either listening or doing. He does not learn by books. So like he is joking and jovial in class, but he's hardcore paying attention. And then Theo has probably gotten used to, if he has to read something in a book to study, he's reading it out loud or he's talking it over. So after we get out of Frog Fun, Theo, I promised we were going to study after like looking at all these
You
frogs.
actually said that activity would be part of the studying, and I failed to see how that applies.
Well,
But
that's because we're going to do the second phase right now.
To be clear, just to make sure I clarify this for you, you also can pull in all-nighter together if that is a thing that you choose to do. It will affect the outcome differently.
that's basically Theo's every night. So he absolutely will.
Perfect.
Well, and Nico does study late at night, but it's not the same as pulling an all-nighter for her because that's when she has to study if she wants to.
Are you going to pull an all-nighter this time or not?
Let's study together first, maybe.
Well, it's one or the other. I mean, you can go to bed before them. It sounds like the two of them are definitely staying up. So it's up to you whether or not Nico does as well.
I'm going to study with others, but I will get a full night's sleep.
Okay, so not an all-nighter, but studying together. Okay. Theo, is it an all-nighter or no?
With everybody, as long as they can make it, and then the rest of the night on his solo ship.
Perfect. And Impa?
Impa will study by herself, or with Alfred, but by herself, and then she's going to get a full night's sleep.
All right. So, I need, honestly, you can roll whatever skill you want to roll for how you study. You tell me. You might make a history check if you're reading. You can make a performance check if you're trying to come up with mnemonic devices. You can even make a sleight of hand check, like if you're practicing something like spell components. Basically, you tell me what you're bringing to your preparation.
Theo's definitely using either Arcana or History. Whichever one, it's going to be about the same difference, but he is pouring into all kinds of books that he has collected for this exam.
Perfect. All right.
Impa is also going to be using History to study.
Perfect. Mal?
All right, roll with me here. I've got thieves' tools.
I like where this is headed.
I would Mal thinks out loud and needs to talk through things, and he's always got his thieves' tools in his hand. He's just kind of playing with like a fidget spinner kind of thing. So
I thought you were gonna steal the answers.
I thought you were gonna steal the answers. Hand to God, I thought you were like, so I'm gonna steal the answers. Yeah.
So here's
I super thought that's where this was headed.
Mal pulls out these thieves' tools, and if someone says something, he'll be like, no, like you don't steal. You don't steal from yourself. You don't steal from people who can't afford to lose it. And I need to learn this stuff. So I'm not stealing the answers. I'll steal other things. But
Good,
no, you don't steal.
Cheaters never prosper.
Also, I need to learn this stuff. But yeah, so I want to use my thieves' tools proficiency.
To be clear, we're going over, but only a little bit, like 5 minutes. This actually is not a very complex process. It's just sort of prep and the test. So, okay. Impa, and then Nico, how are you preparing? For which skill are you going to roll?
Perception, because we were told that sometimes trying to figure out that there is a situation going on and trying to diffuse that instead of engaging in combat is the way to go. So I'm trying to learn all of the colors and learn how I learned about the creepy thing with the egg under the skin thing, which is horrifying and terrible. But like to try and hone my abilities to notice anything that's off about somebody in case they're a slot in impersonating them. And yeah.
Perfect.
And that.
So,
but also I get really bored. It's really boring studying. And so there are a lot of breaks. There's a lot of moving around and fidgeting. I'm not a great study buddy.
No problem. So, Nico, Mal, let me think about this. And Theo, all roll your skill with advantage.
Okay.
Impa, you just roll it straight up.
You know, when you spend time inside of a giant frog, you think a lot about Slotty. And so you roll a natural 20 and you get a 25.
Again, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you do that? Yeah, why not now?
I rolled
not?
a natural one, but I was at advantage, so I don't know if that matters or not.
I mean, you roll it again. Yeah.
I don't think
did.
that should trigger any
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah.
'cause
No, I
we
think
got
we're good.
May I
buffs.
think
use
we're
some
full up.
guidance there as well?
No, because this is kind of the whole night. This is kind of your sum total of your efforts. Impa, what'd you get?
17.
Okay, so Nico, but you had advantage. So what was the
12.
the 12? Okay, so all of you gain. Oh, hang on, let me just double check and make sure you're telling you right. You will have one reroll to use during the exam tomorrow. Theo, because you pulled an all-nighter, you have 2 rerolls. Unfortunately, you also have a level of exhaustion that you will have going into this.
Worth it.
I wake up and I just hand you the I just pull out your carafe of endless coffee and I hand it to you.
For the exam,
liquid.
for the exam itself, this is actually pretty simple. You just have to choose correct on a multiple choice test about red, blue, green, gray, and death slotty. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to ask you actual questions. However, you are going to need to make an intelligence arcana check. You're going to roll arcana. Same thing. This would not be guidance because this is the sum total of your test. So if you earned a reroll from studying, you have access to a reroll. Theo, you have access to 2. Otherwise, it is a straight arcana check.
All right.
Is this so? There are multiple questions we're going to be doing. It's not just one, right?
There are 2. The second one is going to be an insight check. Specifically, you have a multiple choice test about slot facts, and then you have to write a short essay about ways to keep the slotty calm during an unexpected encounter.
Can we?
Which will be insight.
Do we? Can we roll and then after we see the results, decide whether we're using the?
Do we know what the DC is?
I'll tell you, it's 12.
Okay. Should we go ahead and roll both?
It gets harder as school increases.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
So yeah. Well, really, at the end of the day, that's what I need. I need an Arcana check and an Insight check. DC 12.
All right. How would you like us to
roll?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's just roll it. Just tell me if it's.
No, I'm down to my last reroll.
Oh no!
Oh no!
You got this.
Oh, I got it barely. 12.
Nice.
It's you knew, Theo, but you were just so sleepy. You're just so sleepy. Like,
perhaps I won't pull the all-nighter next time.
Okay. All right. How'd Mal come out?
Yeah, I got an 18 on my Arcana and a 23 on my Insight. So sometimes you just got to get up close and personal with a slotty.
You did actually ace the exam. Perhaps you really are a slotty after all. Impa?
Impa got a 20 on her Arcana and 19 on her Insight.
Perfect. Come on, finish strong, Nico. Finish strong.
We did. Nico got a 19 on her Arcana and a natural 20.
Oh my goodness.
On her
This
Insight.
is out of town.
It's 25. And I did not have to use my reroll, so I can fish for crits.
Don't.
I mean, we really haven't had that many crits, so you should go ahead and fish for crits. Just to,
no, you don't have to show off. How dare you? You have all aced the exam and gained 2 student dice, which I will explain later, but make a note of the fact that you have gained 2 student dice. And more importantly, with having passed your midterm, aced it, in fact, you get to level up to level 2.
Yes! I get spellcasting now. Hey, they finally taught me how to They finally taught me how to like cast some spells. This is great.
Yep, absolutely. I knew we went a little over, and when we come back, we will have jumped ahead in time a little bit to near the end of year 1. But you all have successfully survived midterms, literally. So there you
The
go.
most horrifying adventure yet.
Yep. Hey, I turned it back over to you, Adam. Take us out.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening for episode 2 of our 8-part series. We will be back here, same Demiplane channel, same Demiplane time, legally distinct on all those things. Next Tuesday night for part 3. I can't wait to see how it goes. Later, Gators.
All right. We'll see ya. Bye, y'all.